We are live from the Campus View Club here at the Peterson Event Center. Jeff Hathorn with Panthers head coach Jeff Capel, freshly back from ACC Media Days. You know, I was telling a number of people that we're going to be doing the show, first show of the year, and they say, man, basketball already. Now, you eat it, breathe it, 365, but even for you, are like, man, we're getting real close to games. Does it sneak up on you?
It's crazy. It seems like the summer flew by. And the fact that we are a little bit over a week from our first real official game is a little bit mind-blowing, but also incredibly exciting. You know, we have a group that's been together for the most part since July. We had one guy that wasn't with us, Federico. He was trying out for his national team for the World Cup. So he wasn't able to make the trip to Spain with us. We added a guy late August, early September in Mike Hewitt. But the core group of guys has been together. They've worked really, really hard. We're excited about the start. We're excited about next Wednesday to have a chance to play against Pitt, Johnstown, right here in front of our fans, first time. So we're just really anxious to get going.
What stuck out to you when you see those guys together, and how have you seen them come together?
Well, it's I think one of the things that helps is that we have a really good core group of guys back that were a part of that team last year with Blake Henson, Federico, the twins, Will Jeffress, who, although he didn't play, he was a part of it. He saw it. And even a guy like KJ Marshall, who's a walk-on, that was a part of it last year. So they finally know what a good team looks like, sounds like, and then how it feels and all the things that come along with that. And I think they've been very instrumental in helping our new guys get acclimated to kind of what the standard is. So guys like Ish, guys like Zach, our freshmen, and so it's, you know, the chemistry has happened pretty quickly. It seems natural and organic. It wasn't anything that we tried to do except for tried to recruit the right guys that fit, the pieces that fit. And so far it's come along well. Now, we haven't really faced any adversity, and that's when you really start to see who you are. You know, last year I thought the same thing. I had the same feeling. And then we got punched in the mouth pretty early. And even in the third loss that we had, that's when I knew that all the things that I felt were real. Even though we didn't win that VCU game, I knew that we had what I thought, and we were able to turn around and get going.
You said that it's different. It's a winning culture. What tangible or substantive can you put that comes with a winning culture?
Well, we have to make it a consistent winning culture. We won last year, so we have a group of guys that knows what it feels like. Now we're going to deal with something that's a little bit different in that there are going to be some expectations. Last year, you know, you could say you're playing with free money just because we were picked 14th and things like that. I mean, I don't pay attention to it. They do. I knew what we had. I think I have a good feeling of what I think we have right now. But, you know, what we have to do every day is we have to be about each other. And that's the thing that I've seen so far, just like last year, that we have a group of guys that's about each other. It's not about me. It's about us. It's about we. And they genuinely care about each other. And I think when you have that, then you have a chance to create something. You have a chance to create a winning culture, and hopefully we take another step with that this year where it becomes something that's sustainable.
It just came out an hour ago. You guys have picked 9th this year in the ACC. What's reaction to?
Yeah, you know, I don't really have much reaction because I think a lot of the people that pick, they don't know. You know what I mean? Like, they don't. I mean, I think when you look at that, and if you look at the guys that are returning from each program, I understand why Duke is. They have really all of their guys back. You know, I think they were picked first. Who was picked second?
Miami, North Carolina.
You know, Miami went to the Final Four. They have a core group of guys that are back. They lost 2 guys. They were 2 really good players, but they have a core group back. North Carolina's interesting just because I think they should be really good, but everyone thought that last year. Obviously, when you have a fifth-year Baycott back, who's been one of the better players in our league for the last couple of years, you have R.J. Davis back as a fourth-year guy. You had a sixth-year Cormac Ryan. You had a Harrison Ingram. So they should be, but you don't know. Virginia lost a lot. I mean, a whole lot. Obviously, Tony's a great coach, not a good coach. He's a great coach, and Reese Beekman and Ryan Dunn and I think McNeely, the guard that started a lot for him last year, they're back. But they lost their whole front court and another guy on the perimeter that's really good. Franklin, that was very good for him last year. I think Clemson's going to be really good if you look at what they had back. And so I don't think anyone knows. And so that's my reaction. I try not to pay attention to it. I just try not to pay attention. I try to worry about us.
How odd is it to be at ACC Media Days? Your old coach, Coach K, isn't there. Yeah. Coach Williams isn't there. Coach Boeheim isn't there anymore.
Yeah, it's different. It's certainly a new look ACC when you think about the history of this league. Obviously, Coach K, because he was in the league since 1980. Coach Williams came back. I don't know the exact year, but I know he was back there for a while. And then obviously when Syracuse entered the league, I think it was the 2013-14 season when Syracuse came in. But those three coaches, those three men were lifers as far as coaching and legends and brands. And so it's weird, but it's also exciting, man. You see some new faces. You see some younger guys and guys that are really trying to, whether, continue a tradition, doing it their way. When you have Adrian Autry at Syracuse replacing Coach Boeheim, John Shire doing that, and then Hubert Davis, all former players at their place, and they're coming in and putting their spin on it. So that's exciting to see.
All right, we're going to take the next couple of segments and introduce you to some of the players. And we're going to start with Ish Leggett, who's going to be counted on a lot, guard transfer from Rhode Island, as we continue here on the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network. Welcome you back to the Campus View Club. We are joined, and we welcome to Pittsburgh, Ishmael Leggett, 6'3" guard, originally from Maryland, but you played the last couple of seasons at Rhode Island. What do you think of Pittsburgh?
I'm loving it here. It's kind of like a 360 from Rhode Island. The city, it's a lot to do, honestly. I find myself going home and just wherever the day takes me is where I am. So I'm loving it in Pittsburgh right now. Can't wait for the season. Super excited.
You were at ACC Media Days. What was that like for you?
It was a great experience. I actually saw a lot of guys that I grew up with down there representing their schools too. So it was just nice to see a full circle of people that I knew down there. And it was just a great experience. My favorite part was the breakout rooms we went into. They asked us some non-basketball questions. So it's nice to have those shot at me every once in a while.
That's right. Well, I'm going to start off with some basketball stuff, and then we're going to get into that.
For sure.
When you entered the portal and you thought about leaving, when did Pitt come on your radar?
Pitt was fast on my radar. There were a bunch of schools in the mix, and I just did pros and cons with each school. And Pitt ended up the last man standing, and the culture is something that really just spoke to me on my official visit. And the guys I was around, it was just they were all about the right thing. So I made my decision to come here.
Is that just a vibe, like when you go to different places and you just know, like, is it that they're friendly, you see them interact with each other? What gave you that thought?
As far as the coaches go, I had a great relationship with the coaches. Coach Brown was the person I spoke to the most, and Coach Cape as well. And as soon as I got down here, the players, they were just about the right things. Every team isn't that way, and I just definitely sensed that vibe. They were about the right things on and off the court, and they just wanted to win. At the end of the day, no egos involved. So I just love that for us as a team. And
obviously on the court, it's a team that lost a number of guards from last year. How do you see your role, and how do you jump in? Guards often are in a leadership position.
Right.
How do you kind of take that type of role on with just learning these guys and getting to know them?
Right, so I've been in college for a minute, so I look at myself as somebody who's vocal on and off the court, and the younger guys, they're definitely willing to listen. So that's one thing I try and pride myself on. But as far as helping the team, I'm just a high-energy guard who gets after it on both sides of the court. I feel like I'm just a winner. Whatever you need that game to win is something I could provide.
We're joined by Ishmael Leggett, new Panthers guard, a transfer from Rhode Island. What is your vertical?
I'm not sure.
I mean, we've
Sure
heard about your athleticism, and that's something you pride yourself on. That you're more than just a guy that can shoot. Like from steals, you can get back defensively.
Right.
Tell us a little bit more about your game.
Like I said earlier, I get it done on both sides. I kind of pride myself on defense. That's something that just gets me going. It helps my offense flow. But free-flowing, aggressive guard, I like getting all the way to the rim. I can shoot the mid-range, and I'm a solid three-point shooter. That's something I really tried to work on this summer is my catch-and-shoot three-pointer. And, yeah.
You're also a pretty good rebounder.
For sure.
And you kind of mentioned that in there. But what makes you good at grabbing rebounds? Is it seeing it off the glass? Why are you good at rebounding?
I think I'm just able to read the ball well, honestly. Like you said, seeing it off the glass, anticipating where the ball is going to be, and not running to the basket, but running where I think the ball is going to be. So my anticipation is really good. I think that's why I thrive in the rebounding category.
You're close to 1,000 points. What would that milestone mean to you?
Man, that means a lot. Just super blessed to even be in this position to get 1,000 points. A lot of people don't get to see 500, so for me to see 1,000 points is going to be big time. I can't wait. I hope my family's going to be there. I hope everybody's there because that's not something I take lightly.
First exhibition game comes up, by the way, on Wednesday at 7 o'clock against Pitt Johnstown, and then the next week it all starts. It's like game after game after game.
Right.
Does it feel like it's taken forever, or has it kind of snuck up on you that you guys are going to be playing here soon?
No, I've been waiting. I've been counting the days
bet.
along with everybody else, man. I just can't wait. I can't wait to get out there and show everybody what we've been working on this summer because I think we're going to be a special group, special
Why?
group of talented guys. Honestly, this year I feel like we'll thrive on the defensive end. I think we're very athletic, we're dynamic, and our defense is going to lead to our offense. I think we're going to be very good in transition. We have a lot of guys who play above the rim. The person you're about to interview next, I think, Zach Austin, man, he jumps out the gym. He'll be a key player for us, along with everybody else. We all give different attributes towards the team, and I think we're going to be special this year.
You grew up outside of D.C.
Yep.
Did you ever do the touristy things, or because you lived there, like you'd never go into the city and do that stuff?
The second one, because I lived there, I really haven't. I've been everywhere I've needed to go, but it's never really resonated with me, if you will. Like, I don't remember everything I should know about D.C. that other people know. So they kind of tell me about where I'm from, and I'm like,
so they're asking you what museum to go to. You're like, I don't know.
Look it up. Right.
What's it like growing up there?
It's a blessing, honestly. Everybody down there is from somewhere where there's basketball involved. So the conference I played in high school was just a bunch of dogs. Like I said earlier, I was with a lot of the guys down at the media day that I grew up playing with. So it's just kind of full circle, all of us from the same area, and we're playing at the highest level. It's truly an honor to be around them and from that area.
So because of that competition, even when you first got to college, did you notice like, hey, I'm a little bit above because of some of the things that I had to go through in high school?
Yeah, for sure. The conference I play in, the WCAC, I think is still to this day the best conference in the nation, in my opinion. It's just so many great players that come out of the area, and iron sharpens iron. We're playing against each other game in and game out in high school. So college, it was like a little shell shock to me, like, wow, I was playing against these guys, and now I'm playing against college guys, but it's not that much of a drop-off.
You said you started to enjoy the city. Is there something that you've really grown to love about this city, or a place, or something you really like to do?
I just like being outside, so I can scooter from my apartment to the Pitt. So I do that a lot. It's
Up
just
the
nice.
hill. That's smart.
Yeah, and down the hill is the best part. But I just love being outside, and scootering from here to my apartment is something it's just not normal. Like, a lot of people can't do that, can't just drive through the city on their scooter and see everything, go over the bridge and see the water, just stuff like that, the little stuff.
How's the food here?
I love the food here, honestly. No complaints. I've tried a bunch of stuff. I say my favorite thing on Forbes right now is the smash waffle. It's pretty good. Had that a couple times.
But not too many because you got training.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
You can't do too much.
That's my cheat day, man.
What's it going to be like for the first real game? You put on that uniform and you walk out on that court.
Electric, honestly. I can't wait. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Like, I'm just super eager to get on the court. And just me and my teammates just show everybody what we've been working on.
Ish, nice meeting you.
Yeah, for sure. Nice meeting you too.
Ishmael Leggett, Zach Austin, who you previewed is going to come up next as we meet some of the new Panthers. Zach comes from North Carolina, and he'll join us on the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network. Back here at the Campus View Club in the Peterson Event Center, we're joined by 6'7" forward Zach Austin, who comes here from North Carolina, from High Point. First year here on campus. What have your thoughts been of here at Pittsburgh?
I'm loving here, but everything is, what it is, what he said it was before I got here. The people here is amazing. The city is amazing, way better than what I thought it was. Thought it was just some cold, like, up north city.
So I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
Mm-hmm.
So people say a lot about our weather. When basketball season hits, it's like this every day. It's 71 and sunny every day here.
I hope it's like that. I love it.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous right now. When you were looking, what was it that really set Pitt apart for you?
Honestly, just being in the league, it is. Me being in North Carolina, everybody growing up wanted to be in ACC. So I think that was like one of the biggest things I was looking for, because I know with the way I played the 2 years I was at High Point, I was going to go somewhere far probably and not be close to home. But being at ACC, I got multiple games back there in North Carolina. My family can see me. And it's really not that far. It's a 6-hour drive, but, my family loves me, so they'll make that drive. But, yeah, there's that. The coach staff, they're amazing. They know how it is being a North Carolina kid. So I just feel like I related the most to them. And then coming here after the season they had, looking at the rosters, feel like I can be here, come here and make an impact right away.
So were you, as a kid, did you race home, you wanted to watch the ACC tournament and that type of thing? Yeah,
it's a big thing. It's a real big thing, especially, like I said, North Carolina is just
– So you're from Winston-Salem, right?
Yeah.
So Wake, obviously.
Nah, not for me.
But it's big there.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah, it's big.
Who was your team?
Duke. Yeah, but, just seeing that.
You don't just have to say that,
No, I actually was. You only got two options. Either Carolina or Duke.
Wow.
I chose the right one.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Not that I root for either one, but I mean, all the people back home, they're Wake fans.
Yeah.
What are you doing to us, Zach?
I feel like I just chose the better decision for myself.
How would you describe your game and what Panther fans will see when they see you out there?
I say just somebody, playing hard all the time, ready to, try to, get the fans involved a lot. Throughout my dunks, I can get a lot of those, with my athleticism. Just showing my emotion on the court, trying to get the fans involved, after a big play, especially with the student section we have, just going over there, telling them, let's go, get us on a run, because at the end of the day, that's who's going to spark us, to play better.
Were you watching Pitt at all last year?
Only game I got a chance to watch wasn't, their best performance against Duke in the tournament, because, being in season and we wasn't playing in the ACC school, so I was more, focused on my team and the teams in our conference.
You say you like to bring energy.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like being a teammate of Blake Hinson?
It's amazing. Honestly, the energy he has is something I've never seen before from a teammate. Like, he's every day is just him loud, but it's not the annoying loud. It's the, get yourself ready because, it's time to go. It's time to put the work in.
It doesn't wear on you guys. Like, you appreciate what he brings.
We love it. It's a spark. Seeing Blake coming in every day, like, he don't have to do that. He's already established, He did what he did last year and showed the country that he can play, and he's still coming in with the joy to play this game like he just started. Like, it's really amazing to see that.
It's pretty amazing to watch him interact with the crowd here. Like, they're
great
some of the highlights,
yeah.
And I mean, he really seemed. What do you like about his game, and how do you think you guys complement each other as forwards?
The way he can shoot the ball, like, he can really, really shoot the ball, and not just hugging the line shoot. Like, he's pulling from the logo, and just with his his ability to shoot the ball, and then my ability with my athleticism, I feel like so it's kind of like a perfect match. Because he can get on him on the outside, I can go in the inside. Just being able to play off each other, I feel like it's going to help us a lot during the season.
So during your career, you averaged 14 points, 7 rebounds, 2 made threes a game, 2 blocks a game. That's pretty well-rounded. Is that something you really pride yourself on with your game?
Yeah, I really do. Growing up, at the high school I went to, it was like a little small public school. I was like 6'4", 6'5" at the time, playing the 5. I feel like that just really brought, like, my post defense and, just inside, shot blocking ability. It just, goes out to my high school coach. So showing that like really helped me throughout this process. Just be able to read people and just going through like film and stuff like that. Just trying to pick up tendencies and to see like when you can go over, help side, and block. I think that's really helped me a lot.
Fetty wasn't on the trip, but I know you've gotten to know him.
Mm-hmm.
But going to Spain, being with the twins, getting you guys having that time together, what did that mean for you?
It meant a lot. Just getting able to chill with the guys more. When you go on a trip like that, you only have your guys. You're at a country that you don't know the language, so it's just really just hanging out with them, especially the twins. When we went there, I had to be with them a lot of the time so they could show me the ropes and communicate.
Did they give you guys words?
Yeah, I got some words.
Did you worry that they were the real words?
I was definitely worried. I was definitely worried. If the twins, they like to play a lot. But yeah, they steered us in the right direction, showed us where we wanted to go, to good places to eat at, stuff like that.
You're going to wear number 55 for the Panthers, and I know that's a very special number for you, isn't it?
Yeah, wearing 55 because my mom passed away 2017 through the heart failure, and she was 55 at the time. So ever since then, coming to college, I wanted to, make a statement by wearing number 55 for her. And ever since I came, in college, High Point, and now, like, I just see me playing for her, and it just shows, like, by the way I played.
You look at that uniform and you think, like, she gives you strength.
Yeah, it really does. Not trying to get emotional and all that, but just something about that number and just putting on that jersey 55 and just seeing that, especially playing in ACC now, just it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
Zach, we look forward to seeing you out on the court. Thanks for taking time.
Thank you.
Zach Austin here on the Jeff Capel Show. As we continue, Will Jeffress, who is back and stronger than ever, he is going to join us next year on the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network. As we continue to meet some of the team for the 23-24 season, we're joined by someone that isn't a stranger to Pitt basketball, been here for a few years. Will Jeffress, but back from injury. How you feeling? How's the health? How's everything going?
I mean, I feel great. Knock on wood. Just coming back, surgery went well. My foot feels great. I don't have anything that's bothering me, fatigued or anything like that. And I'm just happy to be back on the court, be with the guys, be around the team a lot more, especially just last season being slow, being on crutches and boots on scooters all year. So I'm just excited to be back with them.
Do you look at the game or the opportunity here differently because of what you went through last year?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I've had a conversation with my mom, my dad, the rest of my family about it, and a couple of my friends just about how, having surgery could have went a different way, too. I couldn't feel as 100% as I do feel now, and just the opportunity to even play and continue to be at the Division one level gives me a new, obviously I respected the game before, but it's even a newfound respect while I'm sitting on the sidelines and I'm coming to practice every day. I'm not getting to play, or we pack the Pete and when I see it rocking and I just want to be out in the court, play, and
how'd you deal with that?
Newfound respect. I mean, it was a great experience for me, especially just being able to slow down, take a step back, reflect, just about past season, past decisions, like things that I've done within my life, just to be able to slow down for a minute in that year. Obviously, like, I wanted to be out in the court, but you got to learn, especially in life, just turning negatives into positives, no matter how it is.
Was there any temptation of, like, I think the foot's feeling better, like, I'm going to tell Coach I want to be a part of this?
No, all the time. I remember if you ask, like, Cape, DA, or anybody like that, there used to be times where they didn't clear me yet, but I just was playing no dribble ones for a minute. Like, I would say, like, after practice, I would get anybody who's still on the court, I would grab and be like, yo, like, come play one-on-one with me real quick. Like, we can't dribble because I'm not allowed to move, but it's straight pivots. And then I upgraded to, like, one dribble. And there were definitely times where they shut me down and were like, bro, like, you need to stop. But I was like, okay, all right, I will.
So, obviously, how much weight, since the last time Pitt fans saw you, how much weight have you gained, and what do you think is different about your game?
So my weight has always fluctuated, like, even in high school, college, no matter where it's at. Like, it's always been hard for me to keep on weight. And so even in my first couple of years playing, I was around 203, 205 to like 198. Like, just depends where, like, how much water I drink, how much food I ate. But like now I'm starting to like sit comfortably at like 214 up to 215, like within like a 213 to 215 range. So I put on about like 10, 12 pounds of, shout out to Coach Vince, you know,
Muscle.
just muscle, just having my body feel better, being more flexible, feeling more athletic.
Can you notice it on the court?
Oh yeah, 100%. You can feel just in your movements and how you play, how you absorb contact, how you give contact. You could tell major differences. That's something that I would tell all people to do. Get in the weight room. Like, if you're in high school, like if you think, nah, I don't need to do that, it'll put leaps and bounds onto your game.
What I remember about your game is you've always been an unselfish player.
Mm-hmm.
Have you learned, like, okay, sometimes I got to take this shot, or I got to make this move? It's there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to be as unselfish.
No, definitely, for sure. Just being more aggressive in general. My mom always tells me, like, I have a laid back personality in general. So now, like, when I go onto the court, I have to learn how to like turn it on. And so just there was a lot of things and things that I wish I could take back from past seasons on how like I played, how I acted, or the things that like I passed up or didn't really have the confidence in. But it's entirely different now for me, just within that headspace, just within that year, to allow me to look at that and restructure my frameworks of thinking.
Obviously, Blake is back, and Fetty is back, and the twins are back, yourself. But what did you learn from some of the guys, from Greg, from Nelly, from Jamarius, from Nike, that you are passing on now to the freshmen and the transfers?
So the main thing, I mean, even trickling down from the head of our snake from Cape, is just about being stronger together and having that form of unity. Because even past years, like it's not like we don't have talented guys. Like, we had Division I basketball players, but it's about how you gel, it's about the unity within your team and how you have to be willing to sacrifice this, that, or the other in order to work towards a common goal. Like, in college basketball, not every night is going to be your night. Not every game is going to be your game. But to continue to have a positive mindset and be happy for other people is probably the biggest thing. Even learning that from the twins. Love those guys. Those guys are so funny.
You have some personalities on this team.
No, yeah. It's our dietitian, Jacqueline. She always tells us, she was like, yo, you guys should start a YouTube channel. Like, we have some of the best guys, like best personalities, whether we're playing video games, whether we're in Spain on the court, whatever. Like, genuinely, it's a different type of vibe when like these guys are like genuinely your friends. So
your mom is a doctor, graduated from Yale. Your dad's very successful professional basketball player. Your sister's is gonna become a doctor. How proud are you of being academic, all academic ACC?
I'm extremely proud of that. I mean, academics have been drilled into me since I was a kid. I didn't really have a choice. But
there's no not doing your homework. There's no sliding there.
Yeah, and so just for me, blessed to have some parents who have always pushed me in that way, to just always wanted to be knowing and learning more and to be competent. So to be ACC All-American within the academics is a big goal of mine. Just to, we're student athletes, and yes, sometimes you don't want to do your schoolwork, you don't want to do your homework, this, that, and the other, but like at the end of the day, it gets done, and you should wear that with a badge of honor.
There's an exhibition game on Wednesday, and then the next week it starts in earnest. How much have you thought about this, about getting back out there? And we'd mentioned not being, but how much has that played through your mind here over the last 16 or 18 months or 20 months?
So, I mean, even when I first went down, the first thing I thought to myself was like, when can I play again? And so even doing like the math of it, the last game that I got to play for Pitt was March 2022. And so even on for our exhibition, off our first game, it'll have been 20 months since I played a basketball game for Pitt, like even in the Pete. And so that's been on my mind for the longest time. Even when we first had our first season game, when I couldn't play, all the way down into March Madness, like every game is just on my mind. Like, I want to play, I want to be out there. I can't wait to be back out there, especially even after our home games, coming back in, like sitting at my locker while everybody else is leaving, just feeling that emotion of like, just wait, be patient, keep a positive mindset, and know that everything's gonna be all right. Like,
we look forward to seeing you back out there.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
Good luck. Thanks, Jeff. Will Jeffress joining us here on the Jeff Capel Show is what I was trying to say. As we come back, I want to ask Jeff about that. You mentioned that trip to Spain, what that was like from his perspective and what he learned about you guys as we continue on the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network. Welcome back to the Campus View Club. You know, the timing seemed to work really well on a number of levels. You got a number of new players. You get to go to the hometown of the Twins. What was that trip to Spain like, and what did you learn about your guys?
Well, it was amazing. Right after we did the trip to Italy, after my first year here, we started thinking about, okay, 4 years later, where are we going to want to go? And we thought about Spain. So we already had that in the mix. Initially, I think what we thought about was Barcelona and Madrid. And once we started recruiting the Twins and they came, then we switched it and thought it would be really cool to be able to take them back home. It was awesome, man. It was really cool to see how excited they were for their family to meet their teammates. You know, I think they're so proud of being here. I think they love it, and they love their teammates, and their family has heard so much about them. They were excited to show their teammates off.
Right.
And it was really cool to go around and see where they grew up, to see where they lived, to see where they went to high school, where they used to hang out and stuff like that. So all of that was really good. The competition was actually a lot better than I thought it was. You know, when we played in Italy 4 years ago, I think we had one game that I thought the team was pretty good. The other two games, it looked like they just went and grabbed some people off the street. These teams were good. They were comprised of pros, and we had to really play. And I thought the first game, you could tell that we hadn't done anything. We tried to practice the day before, but the court was we couldn't. It was so slippery that we couldn't do anything. And so we really went for about 3 days. We practiced right before we left to get on the plane, so we probably went about 3 days without practicing. And it looked like it early. And then we kind of got in a rhythm in the second quarter, and then to start the third and the fourth, we opened it up. The second game we played, we had travel getting over there. The bus broke down. We had to have 6 cars come pick us up. And so we started out slow, but we ended up putting the team away.
Do you look at intangibles when you're on a trip like that? Like, how do guys act in public? How do they treat other people? Is that something you're watching?
We're watching all of it, and we had a really large travel party, which was really cool. So many more people than we had 4 years ago. We had some donors that came with us. We had, Heather and her whole family were there. I don't think Sophie was there, but her 2 other daughters were there. I'm sorry, her 1 other daughter and my man Eli was there. Eli, don't get pissed if you hear that. And her parents were there, which was really cool. And just seeing our guys interact, we were always together on the tours and seeing how they interacted with everyone. Going to restaurants, seeing how they are with our families. All of our kids were there. So it was really cool to see that. I think Sir Will, knock on wood, I'm going to do it again. I think we have a really, really good group. I enjoy being around them, so it made the trip to Spain even better.
You guys had a chance to have a scrimmage with Georgetown. Let's discuss that as we continue. It's the Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network. Here at the Campus View Club at the Peterson Events Center, where in 6 days the season kind of unofficially starts with an exhibition game, but you guys played a scrimmage against Georgetown. What did you get out of that scrimmage?
Well, we played against a team that has really good guard play, had some size. They had played a week before. Georgetown had played Wake Forest in a scrimmage. I think it was in D.C. I think it was maybe at Georgetown. And Georgetown won 81-77, and they had a player, a sophomore guard, a kid that transferred from Illinois that had 46 points.
46?
Yeah, and efficient, 15 for 24. He was 6 for 11 from 3 and 10 for 11 from the free throw line. And so that obviously catches your attention.
Yeah.
It was a group. I think all 5 of their starters were transfers. I think their top 6 guys were all transfers. And so I was just interested to see how we would be playing against someone that's, look, the teams in Spain were good, but they were not as athletic. They didn't play with much speed. Now, they were bigger. They were huge. But seeing how we would do there. And I thought our guys really accepted the challenge. I thought Ish and Bub is Carlton. So I thought Ish, to start, I thought he really went after their best player. And I thought he did an unbelievable job. I thought we did an unbelievable job. And we saw some really good stuff in the scrimmage.
How do you get freshmen? You mentioned Bub, Jalen. I mean, freshmen are going to play a lot of minutes for you. How do you kind of – I know you can't cheat it, but how do you get them experience without getting them experience?
Well, I think the 2 games in Spain have helped. I think the scrimmage has helped. The exhibition will help. We're trying to do different things in practice, trying to simulate some stuff that we think they may see. I would think teams are going to try to speed them up. They're going to try to confuse them and just do different things. I've been very honest with them, that they have to grow up fast. I mean, they're good. They're talented. They want to be really good. They're coach's son, so you can coach them hard, which is really good. But they've had unbelievable teammates here like Ish, Zach, Blake, the twins, Will, Federico, all these guys that are back. They understand that we need them, and they have been unbelievable with them. They've helped them. And so, look, we know that it's going to be up and down. We know that it's going to be some obstacles, but they're ours. We're going to ride with them. We believe in them, and I think they have a chance to be really good.
Are there even times where you kind of have to bite your lip and just say, I got to be
Yes.
patient with these guys?
Absolutely. They'll make some passes sometimes or some decisions, and it's just, okay, we have to teach. That's a teachable moment. We can come back. We can watch tape. We can show it. We can talk to them. Okay, what did you see here? Well, this is what's here. And just trying to get them. We've been spending a lot of time with them watching tape from practice, trying to get them to see the coverages and to see all the different things. They need to have a really good feel for what it is we're trying to do, what we want to accomplish with each play when we go in transition, with our defense, because they're the guys that are going to have the balls to make the decision. They're the guys that are going to be the point of the defense. So they have to know everything. And it's new when you're a freshman. It's a lot more responsibility. One of the things that's great is that they're both really smart, and they both have a really good feel of basketball. And so it's helped, and I'm excited to see what they can be. I think they can both be really, really good.
All right, before we wrap up here on the Jeff Capel Show, we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for this month of November, which is just a few days away. It's Jeff Capel Show on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network. All right, the Panthers open up November 6th against NC-A&T, then on the 10th against Binghamton, 13th Florida Gulf Coast, 17th Jacksonville. Then you go to Brooklyn for a pair of games where you get Florida, and then either Oregon State or Baylor. You finish out the month with Missouri at home, and then you start December. Oh, we got Clemson at home, who you mentioned is really good. Then you go to West Virginia.
Yeah, no.
Like, it starts in earnest.
Once it gets started, man, and especially November, when you really look at your schedules, like there's so many games that you play in November once you start. It's probably because when you get to December, you got to have a break for exams and Christmas break and things like that. But we're excited. We feel like we have a very challenging schedule right out the gate, and so we're excited about it.
Well, we look forward to seeing everybody here on Wednesday for the exhibition game and for the schedule. Jeff, appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Good to see you
Good
again.
meeting some of your guys. Thanks to Leggett for coming, Zach Austin, Will Jeffress, to Matt Pliska, Amanda Siley, Amanda King. She's two people in one, and to Joel Nelson. We'll see you next time.